What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-taper on my boy, so stay tuned. My client does have long hair, so we're starting off by pinning up all the hair to his scalp. Now that we're done pinning up the hair, we can move on to our GoToFX and create our first guideline. We're making our guideline a little bit of a curve, just so it could contour to his head shape. Now that we're done balding him out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. Now we're going to move on to the 1.5 guard all the way open and debolt the sides. Moving on back to our initial guideline, we're going to lose the lever midway and all the way closed to help you erase that initial guideline. Since we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to the 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. With this same guard, you're going to soften up the line with the lever midway and all the way closed, getting it ready for the half guard. Now that the line is soft enough, we can move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. Now I'm heading back to my no guard all the way open and I'm detailing using my corners. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated, man. Thank you. I'm noticing a lot more comments, and I'm trying to I am replying to all of them. So if you leave a comment, I will reply to it. Switching over to our GoToFX, we're gonna go ahead and line up the ear line. I love using the GoToFX trimmers to line people up. I feel like they're the best trimmers in the game right now. I am going to do a review on all the trimmers because I do have literally all the trimmers up to cordless and corded. That will be coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But moving on to the hairline, I usually start off in the middle. I feel like that's the best way. I feel like if you start off at one side and then try to match it to the other side, it's going to be harder for you. So starting off in the middle is probably the best option. Now we're moving on to the C cup. I usually start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch. I feel like that's the best way also. It stops you from pushing the C cup too high, because I feel like if you start off at the top arch, you could raise it too high and make the curve like at a weird arch. So yeah, be very careful here. I always use shave stick before I use my foil shaver, just so my client doesn't bump up. Now we're using the foil shaver to remove all the stubble. Now we're going to start detailing the taper with our lower guards, our no guard all the way open, and our half guard. Moving on to the back taper, we're going to create our first guideline with our goat FX and then move on to the no guard all the way open. Now we're going to debulk with our 1.5 guard all the way open. This is equivalent to a 2 guard. But in smaller areas it's better than using a 2 guard because the 2 guard has large teeth. Now we're moving on to our no guard all the way open, creating our second guideline. Using the lever midway and all the way closed will help you remove that initial guideline. Moving on to the 1 guard all the way open, we're creating our third guideline and we're getting ready for the half guard. Make sure to use your lever. Now I'm using my half guard to remove the line. I'm flicking out and also using my corners when needed. Now I'm going to use my trimmers to line him up after I'm done detailing the side. I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch, just like my C-cups. Now we're gonna knock the mustache down to a 1 guard all the way over. Near the mustache area and lip area, you want to be very gentle because the teeth of the trimmer could bite them. Moving on to his left side, we're going to continue with our goat FX and make him as crispy as possible. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, thank you if you made it this far in the video. Man, I appreciate all the support. Now that we're done with the cut, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Derby premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. We're also going to be doing his mustache and eyebrows. Look at that Krispy Kreme donut, man. That shit is nice. Yes, sir.
What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-taper on one of my clients, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, and then separating the top from the sides. Now I'm gonna separate the calic area from the bottom, just so I don't cut any hairs that I don't want to cut. I also want to leave a certain amount of weight so it's easier to blend into the top. Now that we're done separating our calic area, we can move on to our anti outliners and create our first guideline. Now that we're done botting them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make sure you make this guideline about 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Using the lever all the way closed and midway will help us erase that initial guideline. Also, make sure you're using your opposite hand to hold down the skin or stretch the skin if needed. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to the one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Remember, we're going to use this same guard and the lever to soften up the line and get it ready for the half guard. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard, we can move on to the half guard and erase the line completely. Moving on to the two guard all the way open, we're creating our fourth guideline and we're getting ready for the 1.5 guard. Remember to use your comb to feed the hair into the clipper. Now that we're done softening up the line with the two guard, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes once you're done using the 1.5 guard, there's still a faint line, so switching over to your one guard all the way open and using its corners will definitely help. Now I'm moving on to my 3 guard all the way open and we're going to flick out as much as possible, blending into the bulk. Moving on to our clipper over comb method, we're grabbing the hair with the comb and tilting it at a certain degree and then going vertically, blending the fade. As you can see, I'm picking up the hair with the comb and then I'm cutting either horizontally or vertically. Just a little tip, you do want to make sure the hair is slightly damp so it's easier to pick up with the comb. Now I'm starting to debulk the sides. We're picking up the hair with the comb and tilting it at around a 45-degree angle and then debulking with our horizontal cuts. Now that we're done debulking and creating our silhouette, we can switch over to our anti outliners and create our first guideline. You always want to make sure this guideline's at a curve so the taper could burst. Now we're switching over to our foil shavers and removing the stubble. Using our nor guard all the way open, we're creating our second guideline and we're following that same curved shape. Remember to use the lever to blend out that initial guideline. Here we're switching over to our 2 guard all the way open and we're creating our fourth guideline, blending it into the bowl. Now that the guideline is soft enough, we can move on to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Moving on to the neckline, we're starting off at the bottom and working our way to the top arch. Once you do near the top arch, the skin does get a little bit thinner, so make sure you don't press too hard and cut them. Moving on to the C-cups, we're using our anti outliners to make them as crispy as possible. I usually start off at the bottom and work our way to the top arch. You gotta always remember to make sure you go slow enough that the hair feeds into the trimmer, because if not, you're not gonna line up the hair. Look how crispy that looks. Very nice and clean and natural. Now that we're done debulking his hairline with the one guard all the way open, we can start off at the middle and work our way to the sides, making him as crispy as possible. Again, you want to make sure you feed the hair into the trimmer and you go slow and steady. Also, don't be afraid to use your opposite hand to hold down the hair if needed. Since we're done with the lining, we're moving on to his mustache. You want to make sure you're very light and delicate here because you can bite them with the teeth of the trimmer. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Also, if you made it this far into the video, leave a comment down below. Moving on to our Turkish razor and Derby Premium blades, we're going to make them as crispy as possible, and we're also going to be doing his eyebrows. Before you use the razor, you always want to make sure you lather the skin with a little bit of shave gel. Also, make sure you stretch the skin as much as possible so you don't cut them. And when using the razor, you always want to keep the blade at a 45-degree angle.